Well, we're talking about the British Secret Service.
Okay.
That's who we're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hmm.
And they have their agents,
Yeah.
and they use their agents to stalk people and harass them, whether it's subtly or indirectly. That's
Hmm.
what I've been receiving. To those who are watching,
Hmm.
I'm Bobby's Mackenzie friend. It's somebody that advocates for somebody who's got a court case. They may not be able to operate legally within the in the courts, but they can support with administration, getting records together, that
Hmm.
kind of thing, like information that's very important and gathered together for the individual person. And so that's what I do for you. Okay.
So with Petula being the
Question.
Mackenzie friends, that would mean that she's part of the case. So if she feels that she's being followed and harassed, just like I've been followed and harassed, then that would be witness tampering.
I've been harassed. I've been followed. Um, I've been verbally abused, for want of a better word, and it's quite harrowing to experience it.
You've got have
Oh
you got
yes,
recordings or anything?
I managed to get recordings of him, audios, when I've been in my
The
room,
one
and
from today or the one from another day?
I've got loads.
Okay.
Okay, so currently at the moment, and what has been happening for the last, I think, probably 5 weeks, I
Mm.
noticed just a certain smell in my room, which I couldn't locate at the time.
How many weeks?
Um,
You said five.
about 5 weeks. About 5 weeks. It
Mhm.
started
Okay.
off very subtly,
Hmm.
um, just above the ceiling near my bed, and I couldn't quite understand what is this smell because
Hmm.
it was coming from my room,
Hmm.
and it was making me feel dizzy, lethargic. It was horrible. I had headaches, and so I'd complained to my landlord, and
And
she did not
during,
take it.
and during this time, you were working on the case on behalf of me.
I was, yes,
Mhm.
and I think
So,
that may well have been a trigger,
so
but
the
I
problem that
can't be
I've had is
certain.
I've had that gas for about 7 months, and now
Right.
Petula started to work on the case, and now, as coincidence would have it, for 5 weeks she's had gas entering her property, which has been affecting her ability to fight the case. So that just
Yeah,
to give
absolutely,
but for
absolutely,
people who haven't
absolutely.
seen the other videos, that's just a general headline. And also, this is one of the techniques used by uh, intelligence agencies to disorientate people and to slow them down and to distract them. Basically, it's a form of light torture. It's torture. It's not the worst. It's not hanging somebody from somewhere and doing things and whipping them, but it's a form of torture because if you continuously have gas for 5 weeks while you
Oh
sleep
yeah,
and also throughout the day, that's going to affect you.
oh yeah, definitely. I mean, I'm not sleeping. I'm not sleeping. I'm having to I'm having to literally open my windows every night, even when it's cold, because
Mm-hmm.
the smell is so strong. I find it very hard to breathe.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously, living in a house full of men, I can't open my bedroom door because obviously
Yeah.
it's not safe. And it has affected me to the point where I'm a gym person. I like to walk. I like to
Mm-hmm.
get around, and I'm finding my breathing is actually quite labored. So
Mm-hmm.
that I noticed was something that I had to go and get checked out. Actually, this morning in the hospital,
Which hospital?
Northwick Park Hospital, I had to get
Okay.
checked out because I was
Mhm.
so concerned about my health
Yeah.
that I thought I've got to go get sorted out. So
Mhm. Where did
yeah, so
you
it's been,
where did you where did you go to? Where did you get checked out in a hospital like that?
oh, so I literally went straight to accident and emergency. I got there at 8:30,
Hmm.
8:45, and I was seen within about 2 hours, and they checked me through, and I went home,
Hmm.
only to be confronted with more verbal abuse by these.
You have evidence of when they were following you before, or you've spoken to the authorities or anything?
Oh yes, they switched to a private number, which was actually quite weird. So one moment I'm on the phone with a police officer, and the next minute I get cut, and then it switches over to a private number, and I'm thinking, what's
What do
going
you mean
on?
by cut?
So
Explain.
so basically the phone literally went dead,
Okay.
and then within a minute the phone rang on a private number, but it was the same officer I was speaking to. That was the first time I kind of realized that actually, okay, this is not
Hmm.
quite weird. And so now when I do go out, I'm very much aware of where I go.
Hmm.
what time I go, because you just can't be sure what can happen.
Yeah.
My safety is important. So I make sure that in fact, actually, I thought taking an Uber was one of the safest ways to travel, but unfortunately, they work for Uber.
With Uber, how Uber works is it works with proximity, right? So
Right.
whoever's the closest to you and is on the Uber app as a registered driver will get that fare. So if you wanted to stalk somebody and be in the right place at the right time, all you need to do is be in an apartment nearby or a house nearby, or even sitting in your car nearby, and then you just simply have the Uber app on
Mm,
as a driver. So then as soon as yourself, for example, Petula, you order an Uber, it's going to choose from the closest one. So then if there's a team of undercover officers, all they need to do is all be on Uber as drivers, and then they guarantee they've got you because it's like a little net around you. Because you have one
yeah.
here, you have one there, have one here, have one there, have one there, one there, one whatever. If there's three of them or four, they all have Uber, but maybe not all of them are drivers. So then, but they
Right.
guarantee that they capture you immediately because the closest proximity. And then if it's one of the ones that isn't a driver, then they just cancel it and then it moves on to the next closest one. And that will be one of their colleagues. So
Oh
then
yeah, that was
they can immediately come and pick you up. That's how the system would work. It's very, very, very easy to join Uber. You can basically sit there with the app on, and as soon as you order an Uber, then the Uber turns up to your house and it's one of
yeah,
them.
yeah,
Straightforward.
yeah.
Mhm.
So basically, and that's happened quite a few times actually when I've booked an Uber, and then
Mhm.
they've cancelled, and then they go, "We've got a new driver for you," and I'm thinking, this is probably the one that's going to take me to wherever I need to go to. Yeah. So basically, my kind of role is to kind of gather as much information that's going to support the court case. So I'm looking at um uh the legal ramifications, what we need to do to plan and prep for the court case.
Mhm.
So that's what I'm in the middle of doing at the moment, and gathering important information. So once we
Mhm.
go, we can get ahead. We've got it all ready and prepared, and it's all go.
So what I'm saying, that gives you an element of safety. So as you're doing your videos, everyone's aware,
Yes.
and then when the public's looking, it makes it more difficult for intelligence agencies to do things. That's why the way they're harassing you is the most quiet,
Yeah.
discreet way. So that's one way. And then being part of the court case means if something happens to you, it's going to be investigated as thoroughly as humanly possible.
Absolutely.
Um,
Absolutely. With the
mhm,
activism, the whole point of that was to kind of connect with like-minded people who we could support ourselves, or we could support that could support us, because we need as many activists as possible to fight the cause that we're kind of like following and fighting for, supporting with the
mhm,
court case. We do need a lot more people who are law students, because those are the ones who are
good.
not quite corruptible yet. It's not just about supporting just anybody. It's about supporting a really good cause. And I kind of listened and watched a lot of the videos before I made the decision to support you, Bobby.
Mhm,
My foundation is obviously important to me. For those who
mhm,
don't understand what that is, I believe in God, so I have to say that. And one of the things innate in me is
mhm,
that I like community. I love supporting people who are need help. That's naturally me. So I saw what you were doing. I liked
mhm.
what you were doing. I was shocked by what you were doing, and I said, well, someone's got to support you. So I said,
No,
okay,
I appreciate it.
yeah.
But a lot of religious people, they hide behind religion. What do you have to say for those people? Because you're actively out here doing it.
Um,
But you've got people that will say, hey, what can we do? This is in God's hands. Let God figure it out. While in the
I
meantime, what's going to happen if they do that?
I've often been disappointed by the response of those who claim to support others and who have a love for human beings. So I've seen a lot of um, responses that I've been confused by. Like, if you say, and if you've been told to expose things that are not good in this world, why aren't you? And if you can see your brother or your sister or anybody who's struggling or suffering, why aren't you supporting? That is what I couldn't get round in my head. So I don't advocate for, I wouldn't say advocate. I would say that know what your foundation is, yeah, and do the right thing. We have the digital ID that's coming, and that's already here, actually, yeah. You've got the facial recognition. You've got a situation where our rights have been taken away. So this digital ID will form. Will literally have everything about you on this one card. Okay, so I'm sure we'll be talking again, Bobby, about another subject topic, and I'm sure you will be seeing us on Instagram, probably not lives, but on our YouTube and Instagram. That I've got another Instagram page. Yeah, I'll be doing daily updates or as much as I can regularly. Yeah, so that's me for
Okay.
now.
Yeah.
So hopefully we'll see you guys another time.